What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to this video. I'm back here at Gettle Nissan of Sarasota with this brand new 2025 Nissan Kicks. Now, a few weeks ago, I've done the SR trim, which is the top of the line level. And a lot of you loved the video, but says that, hey, $28,000 is kind of steep for a subcompact SUV. So I decided to come back and do a review of this base trim level. This is the Nissan Kicks S, starting at $21,830. Literally, this vehicle's got two options added on it. One of them is the floor mats, the other one is splash guards. Everything else is standard on this vehicle, and today I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check out the design, the powertrain technology, and the test drive. So if you like watching videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. And now let's get back to this. And pretty much everything about this Kicks is new for this model year. It is wider, taller, and longer. So it grew in size. It's also powered up by a different engine. We're going to talk about it in just a little bit. And as far as the design, completely different than the last model year. So what we have on this base trim level, we have the LED lights. We have the LED daytime running lights and turn signals. Right underneath here, you have those three chrome stripes. Kind of adds to the design of this vehicle. We have the glossy black front end, big Nissan logo right here in front, and the bottom of it is covered with the matte black, kind of the textured looking trim at the bottom. Also has a little bit more open spaces to allow for more air to get in and help with the cooling off the engine, more of the aerodynamics as well. Well, I told you it's got the new powertrain. Let's see what it is. Underneath the hood of every Kicks, you'll find a 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine with 141 horsepower and 140 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an Xtronic CVT transmission. If I were to complain about something, I'd like to see some kind of an engine cover. It kind of looks like a big mess underneath the hood. We have the hood strut on the left-hand side, and then we also have some sound insulation underneath here. But we're going to take it for a spin at the end of this video. As I mentioned before, this vehicle grew in size. It's a little bit wider at 71 inches. 172 is the total length of this vehicle, and 64 is height on it. Now, in comparison to the bigger Rogue, is almost a foot shorter. So just to give you an idea, that is a subcompact SUV. Now, the base trim comes with the steel wheels with the hubcaps. 16-inch rims, 215 by 65 is the tire size of it. As you can see, the cladding around the wheels is all in matte black, and that also continues on the side at the bottom of this vehicle. 8.4 inches is the ground clearance, so a substantial difference between this and the previous model year. And then what else is going on as far as the mirror? Nothing crazy, but it has Kicks spelled out in here. We also have the chrome trim that continues on top of the windows. Blind spot assist is standard. We have the keyless entry, but we don't have the smart entry system, so you can't just hit the button and unlock this vehicle. You actually have to push the button on the remote to unlock it. Not a huge deal, but that's something that we have on the higher trim levels. Kicks is also spelled out right here, and this is the little corner window, kind of reducing the blind spot a little bit. And let's move on to the back, because that is completely different as well. And here in the back, I like the shape of it. Look how cool it looks. It's wider, of course, at the bottom. And I like the pretty cool lights. They're all LEDs, by the way. So you have the LED backup lights, LED tail lamps, and turn signals. Nothing too crazy as far as the bumper, except it is two-tone. You have some of the matte black and the color of the vehicle with the reflector lights. No visible exhaust. Kicks spelled out on the left-hand side. Nissan in the middle. You have the rear view camera, exposed wiper, and the third brake light. And if you look at the cargo area, that has been vastly improved over the last generation. Almost 10 feet, or actually over 10 feet more, 10 cubic feet more at 36 cubic feet of space with the seats up. And if you fold them down, it extends to about 70 cubic feet. So quite a bit for a little compact SUV or subcompact SUV. We have some illumination down here, and you can, of course, fold down the seats, 60-40 split. Just make sure that you have the driver's seat pulled back. Now we have the floor mats. This is one of two options on in this vehicle. No spare tire in this particular one, but there's space to put one in, so you can probably purchase one and get it yourself if that's something that's important to you. Now this is what we have for cargo. Let's see what we have for passengers. I'm almost 6 feet tall, 5'11" to be exact. Let's see if I can fit behind the seat that's adjusted to my regular driving position. And I have to tell you, I am very pleasantly surprised with the amount of space that I have in the back. I have about this much, which is about 2 inches before I would hit the back of the seat. So that's more than on some of the larger SUVs. I also have plenty of headroom at about 3, maybe 4 inches even, and plenty of shoulder room. So definitely an improvement over the last generation. The knee room improved by about an inch or so. So that's big considering the size of this vehicle. Well, let's see what else is going on the interior here. What's going on in the rear door panel? Not awfully a lot. This is all hard plastic materials. We have the window controls, a bit of storage, and one of the speakers that's in the back here. As far as the seats, okay, so fabric covered seats. They're actually fairly comfortable. They're firm, but they are comfortable, and it look like they're durable. There is no armrest or anything here, but we have the seat back storage on the passenger seat only, and there's nothing as far as the vents or as far as the connectivity in the back console. I'm actually gonna see if there's something underneath the seats over here. No vents underneath the seats either. So that would be one thing that I would like to see improved, because even though it's small, the rear passengers are kind of forgotten. And before we get inside, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. Boom. Not the best, not the worst. We're going to do it again from the inside to see what that sounds like and see what's going on in the front door panel. So again, this is some hard plastic areas. Now this is soft. This is trimmed in fabric, and we have the power window mirror and lock controls. More storage at the bottom. Again, a speaker. And as far as the front seats, both of them have manual adjustments. So the good part about it is if you adjust it, you're the only driver. You don't have to change it ever again. This one has a little breakdown as far as the colors, but still fabric seats. And let me jump inside. I'll show you what else is going on the interior. Well, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. Nice and solid. Let's see what's going on the interior here. This is the base trim. Let's see, on the side here we have the vents, of course, now surrounded by this trim that continues at the bottom. This is kind of this polished aluminum trim. Let's see what else is going on. This is all soft touch material, which is a plus. A tiny little screen. This is a 7-inch screen. We'll get to the functionality of it in just a little bit. And right here you have the steering wheel with a flat bottom steering wheel, Nissan logo in the middle. Here's a few adjustments you can do: a volume adjustment, seat track, and side to side as far as any of the menu items that you have selected. You also have the menu button itself on the left hand side, and a cruise control, adaptive cruise control, so you can adjust the gap in front of you. So lots of safety features, which, by the way, let's check out and see what they have. So hit that menu button on the left hand side. We have the driver's assistance that shows up, and we have the lane assist, blind spot assist, emergency brake, parking aids, rear cross traffic alert, driver alertness, timer alert, low temperature alert, and chassis control. Not sure what that is. Trace control on. Okay, so let's get out of here. And these are all your safety features. Pretty much this is the only adjustment that you can do on this instrument cluster. Right here, you can see 360 miles is your range, 23 miles on the vehicle. We have the miles per hour and kilometers per hour as far as the speed goes at the bottom, and the fuel gauge, parking, and we're in the standard mode. Now, as far as driving modes, you have the Eco, Standard, and Sport. So those are the 3 driving modes that you can select with. That's what you have as far as the instrument cluster. Let's move on to the infotainment system. If you remember, on the SR trim, we had the 12.3-inch screen. This is tiny. This is 7-inch screen. As a matter of fact, it's probably the size of your cell phone, just a little bit bigger. This is a small cell phone, by the way. If you have like the iPhone Max Pro or the S24 Ultra, as I have, this is smaller than that. But well, let's see what we have. The menu at the top. This is your home screen. As far as the audio sources, AM, FM, Bluetooth audio auxiliary. You don't have the Sirius XM. You have to go to the higher trim level to get it. And as far as the audio So here's your direct tune. You can seek, track it, and then right here you have the night and day. Basically, these are your hard buttons: volume, push, and this has 4-speaker stereo. So not too many things that you can adjust here. If you go to settings, you have connections. If you want to have a wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, again, you have to upgrade to the higher trim. You don't get it with this one. Sound, volume, beeps, camera. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, it turns on in here, but only a part of it. So let's move it to reverse and let's see what the camera looks like. And we have, all right, well, a little grainy as far as the camera itself, but it's there. It's definitely gonna, show you what's going on in the back. No active trajectory lines. As I move the steering wheel, they stay stationary, but it kind of gives you the guides as you approach it. It turns from green to yellow to red. So this is your rear view camera. Again, this is the adjustments as far as the brightness, contrast, tint, color, and black level. And it says other. So let's see what other settings are. Display, language, OSS, licenses. I'm curious what display does. It basically says it's either on brightness, contrast level, and black level. So this is your settings for the display, but no different displays that are available. And this is probably the quickest overview of the infotainment system, simply because there's not much to go over here. But if you're looking for a vehicle as a form of transportation only, this might be a perfect solution for you. Again, we have the hazard lights and the vents. And we also have the different adjustments as far as where the air is coming out of. Single zone climate control, you have the different fan speeds. This is all manual adjustments. Down below, we have the engine start stop button, electronic parking brake, auto hold feature. When you press the brake pedal, and this feature is enabled, you press the brake pedal, and you can let it go. The vehicle will stay stationary until you press the gas pedal to keep on moving. This is where you switch the modes, regular shifter, and let's move on to the middle console here. You have big cup holders, very deep too. And then you have an additional storage, tiny little bit storage, but you have the additional 12-volt power outlet at the bottom here, and then moving up on top. Nothing too crazy as far as the mirror. And we have the lights. These are incandescent lights. You can turn them on, off, or turn them on when the doors are open. And we have the mirrors, no illumination on the mirrors. And this is it. This is the interior of this 2025 Nissan Kicks S, the base trim level. Let's talk about the pricing and see how it drives. So here it is, guys. The sticker is right here, 21,830. That's the base MSRP on this 2025 Nissan Kicks S front-wheel drive. 250 for the splash guards, 255 for the carpeted floor mat. 1390 is the destination charge. 23,725 is the total MSRP for this particular vehicle. So if you were to do a base one, you'll take $505 off of this. Would be at 23,220. Now, as far as the gas mileage, we didn't talk about it. 28 in the city, 35 on the expressway. The combined number is 31. The final assembly point of this vehicle is in Mexico. And if you like the exterior color, they call it the Canyon Bronze Metallic with the charcoal interior. But that's not the only trim that's available for 2025 model year. You can opt it in with the all-wheel drive. It costs another $1,500, so it's going to be at 23,330. Then the next trim up is the SV at 23,680. What that does, it adds the biggest screen. It also adds the wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and it has aluminum wheels. The intelligent all-wheel drive on the SV trim will set you back 25,330. And then we have the SR, 26,180 for the front-wheel drive, 27,680 for the all-wheel drive. Now, this one also is available with a premium package. So when you get the all-wheel drive with the premium package, you're probably going to top it off at about $30,000. So between 22 and 30, that's your range for the Nissan Kicks. I've driven one already, but let's take this one for a quick spin. So you sit up higher in this vehicle, and that's a big advantage over a sedan. That's what a lot of people are choosing the SUV versus the sedan, because of the visibility and everything around you right now. It's so much bigger than it used to be. Most people are driving either the SUVs, big SUVs, pickup truck, etc. So that's important to see and be seen on the road, and that's definitely, you can do that through here. So big windshield. I even like the visibility through the side mirrors. This one, if there's nobody sitting in the back, you can see just fine, but if there's someone sitting, especially in the middle, then the view is obstructed. Now if you turn around, there's this little tiny windows on the side. That's where the Kicks is spelled out right there. That actually reduces the blind spot on this vehicle, which is a good thing, so you can actually see what's going on if you needed to make a turn. There's also blind spot as a standard equipment, blind spot assist in both mirrors, so you can see once they're illuminated that something or somebody or some car is approaching you on either side. So that's as far as the safety on this vehicle. As far as the quietness of it, yep, it's not bad. You can see a little bit of these tires on the road, the tire hum, but not horrible. Definitely something that can be dealt with. And we're going to do a quick acceleration test as well to see how it performs. Now this is not a performance vehicle, and it's definitely not being marketed as this, but it's important that it can handle its own. So we're going to stop right here, and I'm going to accelerate from 0. Let's go. CVT transmission, okay, naturally aspirated engine, all the power goes in. We're at about 50 miles per hour, and that's about as fast as we can go on this street right here. The main goal is to merge in traffic and be safe about it, and I think you can accomplish it with this vehicle. So if you're looking for a city vehicle, for something that's it's going to get you to work and back, basic transportation at $23,000, this is not a bad deal in my opinion. And I think it's Nissan's done a tremendous job redesigning it and finally getting it to compete with the rest of the segment, which is very busy segment at this moment. Not only you have the Japanese and the Koreans with the Mazda CX-30, Honda HR-V, Toyota Corolla Cross. You have the Koreans with the Kona, with Niro. Soul can probably be put in this category as well as a subcompact SUV. But you also have lots of domestic manufacturers, especially GM. With this year, I mean, we have Trax, we have Trailblazer, we have Envista. Those are all of the vehicles that are competing in the same category. So there's a lot of choices. I think definitely one thing that Nissan has that's going for it is the starting price point, because a lot of the competitors could be a little bit more pricey, especially when you go to the base model. Also at the top end too, some of them definitely cross that 30,000, some of them even 35. But definitely a nice vehicle in the segment, and if you are shopping for one, definitely check it out. Don't skip it. This is new. This is something that we haven't had before. Last year's model was completely different, so if you didn't like the Kicks last year, this is nothing like this, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you learned one or two things. And if you did, don't forget to help me grow this channel by hitting the like and subscribe button. And if you already did, thank you so much for being part of the Carguy family, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.